Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy. I'm Chris Don One, and I am back with another video. What's up with y'all? Happy Friday morning. I was going to do this video. Like a couple of days ago, but I got mad busy and also uploaded other videos. Yesterday I uploaded 3. So go check out those videos, rate, comment, subscribe. Do not forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be well aware when my next live stream or video goes down. Yes, this is a live stream. I can't edit live stream. So let's get into today's topic. Today's topic is a good one. The Milwaukee Bucks fired Jason Kidd. And earlier in the week, people were having their own theories on why they fired Jason Kidd. Well, we finally found out the real reason, and probably the only reason why Jason Kidd got fired. A lot of people was pointing to the record. A lot of people were pointing to, well, Jason Kidd got the Bucks into the playoffs, but they couldn't advance any further. And that's probably the main reason why he no longer is the coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. Come to find out, Jason Kidd was not in good speaking terms with Jabari Parker. And this relationship was so bad and so intense that Jason Kidd was trying to trade Jabari Parker. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, the real reason why he did that, because him and Mr. Parker just couldn't get along. All right? And if you look at this as a basketball move, depending on what he was trying to trade, what he was trying to get for Jabari Parker, we have to look at Jabari Parker, the player. Jabari Parker is a very talented NBA player. Has a lot of upside in him. Okay, he hasn't reached his pinnacle, his prime yet. He's very, very young. He's also been injury prone. Okay, for the past couple of seasons, he's been rehabilitating more than actually playing basketball. And if you look at this as a basketball move or a basketball decision, I can understand why Jason Kidd wanted to trade Jabari Parker. Even though he has a lot of potential, he has a bright future, and he's one of those rising NBA superstars. He has all the makings of becoming an NBA superstar. The one thing that you need the most is dependability. And he has been injured. Now, you can't blame injuries on a player. But, throughout sports, there have been athletes who have bright futures and potential. But the one thing that always was in their way was their dependability. They couldn't stay on the field or on the court to utilize those talents. All right, and this is all through NHL, NFL, and NBA, and even baseball. Okay, this happens, right? And I'm not here to say Jabari Parker is at fault. Injuries do happen, but when you mount up so many injuries, teams label you as injury prone. And once you're labeled that ugly label, injury prone, there's no coming back from that. All right, particularly if you've been having surgeries. Every season it's always something. You're always missing a large portion of games. Okay, so Jason Kidd, even though he had a bad relationship with Jabari Parker, basically wanted to trade him. And the brass of the Milwaukee Bucks was not having that. Okay, And that was pretty much the final straw. Okay. Now you have to understand the timeline of Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd was the coach of the Brooklyn Nets. And the Milwaukee Bucks stole Jason Kidd away from the Brooklyn Nets. All right. They made him the coach and also gave him other attributes since he's an employee of the Milwaukee Bucks. Right. He makes decisions on players. He has some say-so on decisions on players. It's not, it wasn't a position where he had final say-so, but he does have input in decision-making when it comes to players. And he was utilizing that power, that capability with Jabari Parker. The owner denied that request that Jason Kidd wanted, which was trading Jabari Parker, because the owner is blind. He's blind to the fact of the stars. He has a lot of stars on the Milwaukee Bucks, and he's treating all these stars the same. Okay, the Greek freak, right? Bledsoe. So he's looking at it as, no, we shouldn't be subtracting players from our roster. We should be adding. And this is a thing with NBA owners. NBA owners want everybody under the sun, but they don't want to be over the salary cap. They don't want to subtract from the roster. All right. NBA owners look at rosters as look at them as value from an economic level, not from a player development level, not from a winning level, but from a income level. Because if you got a lot of household name brand athletes on your roster, you have no problem selling tickets. You have no problem selling out arenas. And when it comes to TV rights, a lot of people, your ratings go through the roof because those people want to watch those stars. And the owner is blinded by the fact of Jabari Parker as a star and the questionable potential down the road. He's hoping that things are going to turn around and Jabari is no longer going to have the title, an injury-prone player. All right? Now, Jason Kidd, Jason Kidd would probably would have kept his job if he would have orchestrated a trade where you could trade Jabari Parker for Kevin Durant or LeBron James or Russell Westbrook or Steph Curry. Okay, if you was talking about trading Jabari Parker for one of the elites of the NBA, then that owner wouldn't have no problem with that, because he's looking at, okay, Kevin Durant is a bigger name than Jabari Parker. He's also a better player than Jabari Parker. And I'm just using that for an example. I'm not saying that's what the trade was Jason Kidd was trying to do. But the owner could see the writing on the wall when it comes to one, making the roster better for a winning formula, and B, still making income from the roster. So he could see that, he could understand that. But if you're talking about trading Jabari Parker for a bunch of players that could help your team win games, plus a couple of draft picks, that's not a type of offer that an owner would co-sign. It could be an offer that, when you talk about as a basketball decision, makes your team better. But a lot of owners are blinded by the fact of, they look at things differently than a coach, than a GM, than a player of operations. Okay, or a superstar player. They're looking at the bottom line, and the bottom line is we got these tickets to sell, we got these seats to sell, and I want to look good on the ratings. Okay, and yes, winning does matter, but it's not the important thing to me. All right, that's what you get from NBA owners. All right, so Jason Kidd was trying to trade Jabari Parker. Now, if you wasn't talking about those four names I mentioned, the owner is not going to understand why would you trade Jabari Parker for these pieces. And you can explain until the cows come home how this trade will benefit the Milwaukee Bucks and advance into the playoffs. Plus, who knows, we could probably win the finals. Explaining that to an owner when he's looking at the bottom line, which is money, is hard to do. And that's why Jason Kidd was let go. All right, because Jason Kidd had a different perspective and a different vision for the Milwaukee Bucks than the ownership of the Milwaukee Bucks. All right, and when you have two entities on two different agendas, somebody has to go, and it ain't going to be the owner. So of course Jason Kidd was let go. Now I'm here to tell you that no one knows for certain who Jason Kidd was talking to as far as trades go. A lot of people are going to throw out a lot of rumors and say, well, he was trying to trade Jabari Parker for X, Y, and Z. But I think he was trading Jabari Parker to a team that had players on their roster, multiple players on their roster that could be very beneficial for the Milwaukee Bucks advancing into the playoffs. There's nothing, once again, before I end this, Jabari Parker, as far as a player, I have no ill will towards Jabari Parker. I think he's going to be a phenomenal rising star. The problem with Jabari Parker was he was clearly an injury-prone player. Every year, it was always he had to miss a significant amount of games, and you couldn't put it all together when you're talking about advancing the Milwaukee Bucks to the promised land. All right, and like I said, this happens in sports history where you have a prominent athlete that's talented, that's a rising star, that has the potential, but that individual just couldn't stay longer on the court or on the field. All right, he spent more time rehabbing injuries than helping the ball club, and that's what's going on with Jabari Parker. All right, so that's why I feel like Jason Kidd got fired for that reason than his record or pushing the Milwaukee Bucks, advancing them further, because the ownership had high expectations. But if you do not have dependable players on your roster, then how can you advance? Particularly if you have players that's in and out of the lineup due to injuries, and Jabari Parker was that player. All right, but guys, tell me what you think. I know you will. Rate, comment, subscribe. It's your boy. I'm Chris Adam One. I'm out.